Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how they do not want to hear it from you. They do not want to hear those words come out of your mouth. They do not want any parts of it. You will find yourself in places and spaces in this weird, witchy society where you will be engaging and communicating with people that you care about, you know what I mean, on a certain frequency level. It don't have to be, oh, you care about them all the way up here, 100 is the max. You care about them 90, 80%. You can care about them a lot still at a 30, 40. That 30, 40 could still be strong. Your 10, 20 could still be strong. But they don't want to hear it from you. You know what I mean? And I know they used to tell us these things when we was younger, right? It's another one of those witchy sayings and statements that people don't want to hear from people that's going through what they've been through. They need to see somebody already in that place or position to be able to want to receive that information. And that was another one of those witchy statements, because when I reflect back on my life, I realized that I took a lot of helpful insight from people that I was around that was my age, that went through what I went through, or that experienced some shit that I could have possibly went down that road myself if they didn't share the information and I didn't take heed to it. And with me being where I'm at now, I take information from my daughter, you know what I mean? And she's new to this realm. Be almost a full 8 years in this realm soon. But they don't want to hear from us, man. I could run down a list of beings, and I know a lot of us can run down a list of beings of people who we tried to share our experiences, our insight that we learned from our walk of life with them, and then they literally was like spitting in our face or pushing it away as if it was something like disgusting, or as if it had the cooties or something, you know what I mean? And it's like, once you see certain of us walk in a certain way of life, and we live this way of life, and you still put that same condensation on it, for one, me being where I'm at, I understand you using the demonic playbook because God's children ain't gonna look at it that way. But for two, you gotta look at all the other weird things that's connected to it, just like how jealous and envious a being can be of someone having more knowledge or information, or someone just having, more accurate information. You know what I mean? Because it don't always have to be the right solution. It could just be, maybe some of us are really good with diving in people's realms and giving them insight and guidance in the direction they're going to. Kind of like spiritual tourist guides. You know what I mean? Even though it's your walk of life, but that was just the first example I could think of. You know what I mean? So that's how you can run into some beings and they can jump into, these people who can jump into other people's realms, you gotta understand like how far they had to come and go to be able to stay in that space as well too, because we all kind of get pieces and microdoses of it when we're younger, but as you get older, to be able to maintain that, that allows you to be able to empathize with the beings around you. A lot of people that's using that demonic playbook, they can fake sympathy or do that little real sympathy a little bit on a low percentage scale, but they not empathizing because they wouldn't be responding and reacting and caring it the way they do. But outside of my relatives, you know what I mean, and all of our immediate relatives, I had a male associate of mine who and the universe just works. I mean, it just works. I just did the video when you're doing God's work. Like, you get that extra push and strength. And when I say like, it's like immediate, and it doesn't always have to be the biggest thing in the world physically. But what happens is it's so big energetically and spiritually that it's way more fulfilling. It's way more fulfilling. Like, I would much rather go to the store, get some shitty chips, because they all bad. All the motherfuckers in the store is bad. Get some shitty chips, bust the bag open, know some chips in there. I can hurt myself all I want to with these disgusting chips, opposed from going to the store, seeing that bag of chips up there, busting it open, and ain't no chips in there. I just went and paid for a whole product, ain't not a piece of product inside of there besides the bag. But I had a buddy of mine who I was talking with him about, like, he been trying to push yourself in a better direction. I'm always supportive of that. I don't care, like, what your trials and tribulations may have been, you know, or may be, you know, or how unreceptive you may be to my information or the knowledge that I be trying to give. Doesn't make a difference as long as you still moving in that light. He been pushing himself up into a higher light, you know what I mean? And we be having a lot of conversations, building this stuff. But we had a situation yesterday, and it was right after I filmed the video about doing God's work, that I was just sharing my real life experiences about how annoying it was for me when I was going about the car process. And he was like running around doing all these other things that I'm trying to help him kill two birds with one stone. Like, you went to a car lot, but you didn't ask them all the criterias and all the things that you need for you to actually know that you're going to get approved. You, in your mind, talking about coming back test driving cars, but for what? You don't even know if you're going to get approved, so that would be a waste of time. So I'm just kind of sharing some knowledge, information about it with him and just trying to help him make sense, because he's going off in the la-la land. The motherfucker basically shut me down, right? And because we have a relationship on one of those different levels, I chose to learn at that time. I chose to learn. So what happened was, when he shut this shit, all the knowledge and information down, it kind of was like a stab wound, because it's like, damn, like I've been walking a certain way of life for a while, and it's like I'm just sharing insight that I don't have to share with you. And it's like he was almost about to get to aggressive state, and when I shut down after he was doing his thing or whatever, I just got silent. He started talking about, like, shifting the subject about what he had cooked for dinner, and I didn't give a fuck, so I didn't respond. He had said something else that I didn't give a fuck about, so I didn't respond. I was just silent. I got to my next stop because I was doing some driving, and he was like, "What's up, bro? Why you getting so quiet?" I said, "Nah, man, I'm just getting over to my next stop." You know what I'm saying? I had to pull up to the mall, grab this order, blah, blah, blah. So as I'm going into the mall, me and him was talking. I got him on speakerphone. I walk in the mall. I get to almost to the Chinese spot, and when I get to almost to the Chinese spot, it's an order. It's not for me. I don't eat that shit no more. Chinese people don't even eat Chinese food. Another story. Somebody called my name. They was like, TrakBeatz. And for me, because I'm a real life being too, and I be out here, and I've been out here in the field, so my first instance when a male called me, it's always like, you know, I gotta check the temperature and see what's up. I don't know if you got an issue with me because of something I may have done, or if you got an issue with me because of something one of my peoples have done. So I'm always like, but I know that I do this as well too. That's the, you know what I mean? So when he said it, I kind of stopped where I was at, and I'm still on speakerphone. And I'm like, I just kind of looked back. He was like, he asked again, like, TrakBeatz. This time it was more of a question, and as he got closer, because he had his hat on, but he had it like this, so I really couldn't see. He was in his work uniform, and he was like, "Man, this is crazy seeing you, man. Like, I've been watching your content since last year. I was just literally watching you last night, man." And like, he was just going in. Long story short, he was trying to make it seem like he wasn't trying to be no groupie, and he wasn't. His name, you know, much love to Corey, man. That was like, that hit. You didn't even understand what you did or how the universe even pulled that together, man. But my peoples that was on the phone was just shooting me down for the information I was choosing to share to him. I created the tribe in a different space for the people who wanted to receive the information. The universe sends the vessel through as I'm on the phone. So now my homeboy is all quiet. Now I can feel his energy being jealous and envious, because he was just shutting me down because he ain't want to hear it. And then the universe sent the vessel through. And what's crazy is I don't even run into people in real lifetime that's been like, "Oh yeah, unless they like locals. He like on the outskirts of my city, you know what I'm saying? He like 45 minutes away, but he just happened to be in the area, you know what I'm saying? Probably just doing some work or something. Like, I exchanged information with him and told him we can build and shit, but it was just like, I know that I don't run around doing shit with ill intentions. You may get some warrior spirit and energy because that's me. That's me. You have to know how to be a fucking warrior out here in this field where it's a bunch of demons out here. You know what I mean? So it ain't about just me protecting myself. I gotta protect the ones around me too that I care about. So if I ain't willing to go to that next line, then shit, I ain't no good as a protector. You know what I mean? But it was just a slap in the face because we hadn't even been off the phone. The energy hadn't even gone down yet, and the universe literally just sent somebody through, and he was just like he was just being genuine and organic, you know what I'm saying, with the discussion and about as far as like tapping into the content, and he not wanting to seem like, you know, like a fan, but I understood where he was coming from. And he was a grown-ass man, too, you know what I'm saying? He was definitely older than me, so it was definitely respect. It wasn't like on no groupie shit, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't giving it for it to come off in that manner. I was giving it for you guys to see that the universe used another vessel because it understood the energy and vibration that was happening. We don't always know the words. The words don't matter because you could be in a different language. It's the energy that you are receiving. This energy over here was trying to shut me down. That's what the universe know. The universe was like, man, this nigga is trying to do God's work right now. He like literally is pushing some of his shit off to the side to kind of give energy and insight and feels that he could help somebody in. He want to shoot it down when he ain't got to. You know what I mean? And then the universe sent somebody through. Sent another vessel that came through with mad love. Shit was crazy. We got off the phone probably like a couple minutes later. Like, I'm gonna call you back in 30 minutes. And he didn't call me back in 30 minutes. But I already knew that was gonna happen. We aren't blind, dumb, or naive to the beings who are a little bit jealous or envy of us. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is with that is like, my bro that's in that position, like, I paid $200. That's just for my beat making program itself. You know what I'm saying? Not including the VSTs and the sounds and all the other things that I invested into. But it's like, I gave him my password and sign in because he been using this the sample version. You know what I'm saying? So you don't even get to save your beats and all of that stuff. I gave you my sign in and all this shit. He never signed in, you know what I'm saying? He was doing the beats before me. We never got a collab together. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when I talk to him to build on certain things, it's always like he don't ever want to add into what I'm throwing to him to the table. It's always he has to do his own separate thing as if he feels though he can do it by himself. So in my world, this was all just an example to be displayed as like, they don't want to hear what the fuck we got to say. It doesn't matter if it's gonna help push them in a better space. It doesn't matter if they know you have the best intentions in the world. They don't give a fuck about it if it's coming out of your mouth. They don't give a fuck. They can go hear from a duck and they'll take insight from it. You know what I mean? Because I done had several situations before where I had the same entity like, yeah, man, this old head had told me blah 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 and such, and I'm like, he like, yeah, I know you be talking about it, but you know, it just hit different when it come from blah. Now shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's that demonic shit. You trying to tell me my shit ain't valid when we all saying the same thing, bitch. So don't make a difference. I won't go over to Asia and be like, nah, them ain't eggs. And they chicken eggs. Matter of fact, we could just do what they do now. Let's go over to every other country and say, hey, y'all want to play soccer? They gonna look at you like you crazy. You come over here, we all know what soccer is. This delusional ass fucking, I don't mean business. It's a delusional ass business that they created. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we all know what the purpose of it is for. Blah 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 blah. But they don't care to hear it. Had the same thing with my siblings. They don't care to hear it. Same thing with my moms. They don't care to hear it if it's coming out of your mouth. Yours. It can come from anywhere else, but if it's coming from yours, best believe they don't want no parts of it. You know what I mean? So be wise on how you choose to give your energy, because when you are diving into those spaces for yourself to kind of help others, that requires you to give energy. That requires you to take time to dive in that space to give that insight. You know what I mean? And a lot of motherfuckers ain't worth it. So to be honest, it's like I would much rather, the way the society is set up now, I would much rather take a good portion of my battles within myself, opposed from constantly fighting a soccer goalpost. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, I know that's a goalpost, so why the hell am I gonna go down there and fight it? Like, if I'm a fighter, I gotta get something stronger, which is still be retarded. I ain't trying to fight no goalpost, you know what I mean? We gotta save the warrant for the right entities, you know what I'm saying? Principles, morals, and values. Stand solid, you know what I'm saying? I ain't wanna run it up too long. They don't wanna hear what you got to say, you know what I'm saying? So be mindful on how you giving your energy. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.